Hello, and welcome to episode 14 of Digital Theory Podcast. This is a show where three regular dudes talk about video games and assorted geekery. This is Ryan, and I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Micah and Mark. Welcome back. How you guys doing?
Doing good, doing good. Hope you guys are. Just been a real busy week over here for me, but it happens sometimes.
Yeah, I'm playing catch up in a few classes right now, so it's been kind of busy. So it definitely feels good to be at this point in the week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with my job and the pandemic. It's kind of like it just hasn't stopped since May, but it's playing a little bit, but not quite as much as I'd like. But
Yeah,
we're getting there. It's almost the weekend. We're recording this
exactly.
on the 10th, so we've got a few more days to go.
Yeah, yeah. We're on the downhill slope.
That's right. We're officially over the hump.
That's
So.
exactly right.
Well, per usual, we want to kick it off. Anybody have some news?
Go ahead, Mark.
This is just a quick one. I didn't find any real good, interesting articles today, but apparently Ubisoft has released a statement saying they are considering $70 games this year.
This has been coming for a while. When you think about games and the game prices from the even the 90s, the $60 has been kind of artificially low when you consider inflation since that time. So I had the thought that this was coming sooner rather than later, but this year it's kind of too soon, man. Like I'm not ready for it.
Yeah, and actually Sony CEO Jim Ryan said that he considers that $70 is a fair price, considering the amount of entertainment that we get now out of a $60 game versus 10 years ago when they were still $60, which I mean, I kind of see that, but yeah, I don't want to pay $70.
No, it's still a lot of money, you know.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say I think $70 is fair depending on the game.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
I'm not saying that $70 is ridiculous and all that stuff, because it really does depend on the quality of the game. But I will say this, for me, I probably won't be running out to buy very many $70 games. I'll be waiting for a couple price drops. If there's one I have to have on launch day, then I'll do it. But I typically wait for a $10, $20 price cut anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Ryan.
If you guys are interested, I just ran a quick inflation calculation on a game price. All right. So I put in $60 in 1995. All right. And how much that would be in 2021? It would be $102.99.
Wow.
Yeah. So $40 of inflation.
Wow.
But Ryan, I do agree that it would depend on the game, because I'll talk about this a little later, but I've been playing the medium this week, and it's like a Series Series S exclusive, but not what I would say $70 game caliber, just because it's on those consoles.
Right. I agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I think too, there's just so many games that come out, you can't launch them all at $70.
No. I think what you're going to see is you're going to see more people turning to services like my favorite thing to talk about now, Game Pass, where you can get that value. You can get these games, especially first party games, on release without having to pay $70. So we'll see.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I've noticed, I don't know if you guys have, but I feel like games are dropping in price quicker than they used to. So like based on release date, like you see that $10 price drop pretty quick, and then from there it just kind of snowballs down.
Yeah, I agree. I think this quickest one I've seen this release cycle is like a 4-week window between the release, and it was already down to $49.99. So
yeah, and I'll get into this a little bit more whenever we talk about what we're playing, but recently Madden 21. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was 70. Was it $70 at release for, or was it 60?
I mean, look, I could look for you real quick. See,
But
Madden.
yeah, see what it was. We can both try and get there.
It's like the standard edition was 60.
Yeah, standard edition was 60. Yeah, deluxe was
Okay.
79, and MVP
Mhm.
edition was 99.
Yeah. So, and we've talked about Madden, and we give Madden a hard time, but so $60. I will tell you, this past week, I sent you guys a text. It was on sale for $19.99, pretty much everywhere.
Yep.
And even at $19.99, I probably wouldn't have bought it, but I had a $5 off at GameStop, so I got it for $15.
Wow.
So that game came out in, I think they released in July. So they've got a few more months before the next one comes out, but basically it was already down to $15-20.
Yeah, bargain bin already.
Yeah. So that's pretty steep price cuts.
And I'll tell you something else that is very interesting to me is that you see price cuts quicker, it seems, on physical copies of the game. You'll see a huge price cut on a physical copy, and the digital copy will still be full price. It'll be $59.99. I don't get that. That's confusing to me.
I wonder. Oh, go ahead, Mark.
I was gonna say it's also kind of frustrating because you're like, I know I could go out and buy this game. Like, I don't have like a GameStop near me, and so like the closest one's like back home, like an hour and a half away. And so like if I know the game's like $15, but it's 45 on the store, it's like I wish I could just buy it at that discounted price.
Yeah, and I agree with that as well. I've noticed that because I'll look online how much something costs. I'll log on to PlayStation Store and it's full price still, and that is frustrating.
Yeah, they don't have any overhead of material cost or shipping on digital, so I don't understand. I mean, I guess they're trying to recoup their investment in the project that probably took them 4 to 6 years to make, but it is frustrating.
Yeah, I don't know if it has anything to do with those retailers buying a certain amount. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's some sort of kickback, kind of like car dealers get.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know that
sell and then sell them at retail.
Yeah, I mean, I know you worked at GameStop for a little while, Micah, but I don't know if you knew that.
Oh God, dude.
aspect
I
of
was I was a third key. It was kind of like a shift leader. So I had no clue about the financial aspect of that company. I didn't want to know, man.
You just sold games.
Yeah, exactly. I just sold games and offered you way too little for a trade-in. That's my job, or that was my job.
Wow. Well, I'll be curious to see if more companies start jumping on that $70 bandwagon, or if they're gonna keep it where it's at.
Yeah.
Not to spend too much time on this, but it does list a few companies. Like it says the CEO of Take-Two has spoken out in support of it.
Of course.
Sony released Demon Souls and apparently Destruction All Stars at $70.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I think that's why
Demon Souls was launched at 70. Yeah.
But to be fair, what company doesn't support it going up or saying they support it? You know what I mean?
At this point, this would be like the one thing that CDPR should probably come out against. Maybe win them back some goodwill.
They're in a pretty deep hole.
Yeah, we're going to talk about them in a minute. I got a story about them myself.
Well, if Mark's done with that topic, we can roll right into it.
Yeah.
Take it away.
We'll use that as a segue. All right. So I sourced this article from GameSpot. Eddie Makuch is the author. I want to give him a shout out. Good job, Eddie. But anyway, CDPR was a victim of a recent cyber attack. The developer got a ransom note, which basically threatened to release the sensitive information that the hackers had gotten a hold of, which included the source code for Cyberpunk 2077, The Witcher 3, Gwent, and Thronebreaker, The Witcher Tales. CDPR commented that they weren't going to pay the ransom or cooperate, and they obviously reported it to law enforcement. But CDPR just cannot win right now, and it's just every week there's something that's just running them back over.
Isn't this kind of ironic though that it happened to the company that did Cyberpunk?
Yeah, it is. A game about hacking into people, and yeah, exactly.
Man, I don't know. It felt like 2 years ago, you never heard a bad thing about these guys,
Yeah,
and now they just can't, get back up.
it's just it's like when you were real little and you went out too far in the ocean or it was too rough and you get knocked down by a wave, and then by the time you get back up, another wave hits you and knocks you back down. That's what I feel like CDPR is going through right now.
Yeah.
But I already have an update to the story. Okay. So this story came out earlier this week. And then today, this is via Kotaku, um, Ian Walker's article. CD Projekt Red hackers are allegedly already ready to auction off the stolen source code. They popped up on a Russian hacking forum and called Exploit, and they claim to have these screenshots that show the sensitive documents that they have. They're starting the bidding at $1 million, but they'll sell it to the first person who just offers them 7 million straight out.
Wow.
So, I mean, good luck getting that amount of money. But yeah, so they're, I guess CDPR saying, look, screw off, we're not going to pay you. So they're ready to ransom it off.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll see. Take a look around the internet in the coming weeks, and you may see a story floating around about the source code being posted on some forum. So who knows, man?
So, I mean, realistically, though, what are the ramifications if that is posted?
See, that's the thing I don't quite know, right? Like, I don't know how that would affect the company, other than the fact that they would have, you know, um, proprietary source code out for competitors to look at.
Right.
But I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if any development company would do that, just because everyone has their own engines that they work in, or the ones that, or they license one, right? So, I don't know how much this would hurt them. They did say they had other documents, other sensitive documents. I don't know what that exactly is. It might be like, has to do with their like HR department or their accounting department. Now that could, have some implications. I don't know what the source code would do.
Yeah. I
Other
don't
than
know.
be
It would
installed.
just, I don't know if that would just open them up to additional hacks. I don't know.
Possibly, yeah.
In
Allow
addition to that competitive advantage, things like that.
allow people to make trainers to mod the games and things like that. So who knows?
Yeah. It could hurt them in the long run for sure.
Yeah, poor CDPR, man.
Yeah.
They can't win.
But at least I got my money back for Cyberpunk.
There you
so-
go. Yeah, you got your
No.
refund.
I actually uninstalled it recently.
Oh my goodness, you guys are
Yeah.
bailing on it.
Yeah, I haven't. I highly doubt at this point I could get a refund. I thought about looking into it, but I just haven't.
Hey, it's worth a shot.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. But yeah, I don't know. Like I stopped playing it and was diving into other games, and I never really had the urge to go back. And I kept
Yeah.
telling myself I'd play it when the update came out, but
Yeah, it's going to be a minute for the next gen update. But I would like to point out to everyone who followed us over from the previous episode that you are the two dudes who purchased Maximum Football. Okay, so no one take purchasing advice from these two guys. All right, just ribbing a little bit, but I do see your frustrations. I haven't played it either. I'm gonna wait for the next gen update myself.
Man, Mark, I can't believe you ragged on us on
Hey,
the
man,
Maximum
look.
Football.
I
Listen.
know.
Listen,
I understand though.
fair is fair, right? Fair is fair.
So, just a little fun fact about Maximum Football. I looked up Doug Flutie, by the way.
Yeah,
Do you know anything about him? Did you look him up by chance?
I knew who he was before. That's why I was making jokes about his name.
Okay.
I thought you guys did, but it became apparent that you didn't. So I just didn't want to embarrass myself, and I didn't say anything. But,
Okay, so I didn't know who he was. So anyway, I looked him up. So keep in mind, he changed teams more than I think he changed underwear.
it probably did. Yeah.
I'll read out the list of football teams he played for, and basically these are every 2 years. Ready?
Right.
New Jersey Generals, Chicago Bears, the New England Patriots, the BC Lions, the Stampeders, and I guess these are maybe Canadian teams.
Yeah, those are Canadian football. Yeah.
Buffalo Bills. He played for Toronto and San Diego Chargers and New England Patriots. All starting from 1985 through 2005.
Yep. He was a journeyman quarterback. Like he wasn't ever a all-star, like a hot shot, but he was good enough,
Yeah, and to cap it off, he also won a WWE championship. So.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
What a guy.
Yeah.
But he could do all that and can't make a good football game. Can't.
Yeah, exactly.
he
was
did
a
it.
Tall guy too.
He was just doing it for the royalties.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't hate that.
Yeah.
Now, I always remember him because he's 5'10", so it's really short for a quarterback. But did okay for a short guy.
Well, look at Kyler Murray? He's pretty short.
That's
He's
true.
Doing all right.
That's true.
Wow.
All right. Well, I can't leave CDPR off on a sour note. So I do have one additional piece of news that literally just dropped, like within the last few hours. Okay. And this isn't video games, but it's gaming adjacent. So you have to forgive me on this. But The Witcher Old World tabletop game is going to be launching on Kickstarter this summer. So I'm excited for that to come out.
Tabletop.
Yeah, so it's like a board game.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a dice and card based adventure game where you take the role of like an apprentice witcher, and you're wandering around the continent. And you're taking contracts and fighting monsters and seeing which one of you can last the longest.
Sounds pretty neat.
So
yeah, it's an interesting concept.
As soon as it hits in May, I'm going to see what the tiers are, and I'll probably back it because it looks like it comes with some pretty cool minis. So can always use those for D&D.
You're still willing to back them on a project?
Oh, for sure, man. For sure. This is really their only major catastrophe so far. I think their other products have spoken well enough that as long as they get their management under control to stop, over promising stuff or lying about the state of the game, I think their future games are not going to be as checkered as this one.
Yeah, they definitely have a brand to rebuild, but
yep.
I think the tabletop would be fun. We've talked about it before in the past, but I'm big into board games and tabletop games. So
yeah, I'm gonna take a look at the Kickstarter, and I'll most likely get it, just if not for anything else, just for the minis.
Yeah. Cool.
So.
Well, some good news coming out of them. So that's good to hear.
Exactly. I had to give a little bit of a prop up there at the end.
Yeah, we don't want to just bash people.
Right. Except for if you're Doug Flutie.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no good reviews about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've got one kind of to piggyback off a previous episode. Do you guys remember talking about IKEA making the PS5 and Series X for you to fit your furniture?
I do remember that.
So IKEA is back at it again, and this is an article I found off a website called 9 to 5, which I've never really heard of, but it's got pictures of the items.
Oh.
And so IKEA now is releasing a gaming chair, which looks pretty terrible in my opinion. It's like got a mesh back. It's kind of interesting looking. I actually need to just send you this link so that way you can look at it, and I'll put the link in the description of the.
Is this it with it's like a black seat with a red trim?
Yeah, I just sent it in the chat so you guys can look at it. So you got the site pulled up, Micah?
Yeah, I had. Man, that looks like absolute garbage.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, it's $46.
Okay, yeah, all right.
But I don't know that they should call it a gaming chair. It's got metal arms.
The only reason it's a gaming chair is because it has red highlights on it. That's
Yep.
literally the only reason.
But it says they teamed up with Asus on this project.
Ah, oh my gosh.
But I will say, so take away the gaming chair, the headset holder or headset, I guess you can call it a handrest,
That's
is
cool.
pretty
I do like
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
for those of you who I'm obviously looked this up, but since it's podcast, it looks like a robotic hand made of wood that you would see in like a horror movie reaching from the grave. And it looks like you can hang your headset and like cords in it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is pretty sweet. So I'm going to give them props on that one. Cringe at the chair.
Yeah.
And did you see the third one where the headset kind of clips onto the side of a desk?
Let me look. Let me scroll down. Oh, I did see that. Yeah. Okay.
So this is pretty cool too, because I feel like I'm laying my headset on the table a lot, which I guess both would solve the problem. But this one kind of gets it out of the way.
Yeah, actually, I like that because mine is literally sitting on top of my gas fireplace right now.
Yeah, well, mine's corded, so it's just laying on top of the PC tower right now.
Yeah, I like that little hook. That's pretty cool.
But the hand is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
The hand is worth the price of admission. Like no one's going to sit in that chair for very long.
Yeah.
But the hand is cool.
Yeah, the hand, I don't see anywhere in here where it says how much the hand costs, but it's worth it.
There's a link and it takes you to like, I don't know if this is like the Swedish website, and I don't know what currency.
Landespela.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 129 of what that currency is, and the chair was 200, and that's equivalent to, I guess, 46 US dollars, or
What is-
299 was the chair in that currency.
Okay. So it's probably pretty cheap.
Oh, it's in yen.
Okay, that's what I thought it was,
Yeah.
but
So yeah, that's real cheap. 129 yen is like $13.
Well, let's convert it real quick. We can.
Oh,
we
excuse me,
have the
100
technology.
125 or 129 yen is 1.23 US dollars. $1.23.
No, 1997.
Oh, I did the wrong thing.
Oh, wait, I'm doing the wrong thing.
I didn't do the point.
This is going to be
That's-
embarrassing.
Hey, it is what it is, man.
it's okay, Ryan. I just said I didn't know what the yen was.
Yeah, $1.23.
You're
$1.23. Wow.
Surely it's not $1.23.
Dude, I'll buy that for $1.23.
Heck yeah.
I'd pay way more than that.
Me too. I mean,
I know. I was thinking it was going to be like 15, 20, maybe even $30.
we got to chill with saying we'll pay two more because, like, you know that when we say something, it happens on this.
Oh, that's true.
So,
Listen, all right, I'll cap it at double. I'll pay double.
I'll pay
Yeah.
$3.
Okay, that'll work. Oh,
Wow.
I accidentally just closed out the website. But yeah, so pretty.
Wow.
IKEA's getting involved. I like it.
Yeah, man. Look, there's a niche there. There's a need.
There is.
And who else to better shill your build it your own, questionably quality furniture to than gamers.
Yeah. Well, I think what they need to do. I've been thinking about this now. I'm actually okay with this gaming chair, but it needs to be like the lower model, and then they need to roll out like a one
Yeah.
that's a little bit more expensive.
With RGB lighting.
Well, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like something you'd see at Staples.
I'm thinking
Walmart.
worse. Yeah.
BJ's.
um,
Oh, bless them. They're trying. Those Swedes.
what about you, Mark? I know we've covered some things.
Well, like I said, I don't really have anything stellar, but
Okay.
I found on Game Informer that Jamie Lee Curtis has been cast in the new Borderlands movie, and so she'll be playing Patricia Tannis, and apparently Kevin Hart is going to be playing Roland, and Kate Blanchett is going to be playing Lilith.
Dude, what do you mean you didn't have anything good? That's great news.
Dude, this movie sounds like a mess.
Dude, I love Jamie Lee Curtis.
And Kevin Hart, those two together,
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
Kate
But in a
Blanchett.
Borderlands movie.
Hey man, look, Chris Pine is starring in the upcoming D&D movie, so it's the year of the nerd.
Yeah, yeah. I guess that's one way to look at
Look, all I'm saying is it can't be as bad as The Rock and Carl Urban in Doom. All right,
it.
have you guys seen that?
No.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I have
God!
not, but
Listen,
I've read about it.
you have to. It's one of those that you need to be doing something else when you watch it too, like extracurricular. But you have to watch that because there's an entire segment in that movie that's shot from a first person's perspective, like you're playing the game. And they thought that was going to be so cool, but it is so terrible.
So did you see this movie in theaters or anything?
Dude, I was working at a movie theater when Doom came out. So I was a projectionist. I built it. I had to watch that thing like 12 times.
Micah had it made, Mark. He used to sit up in there and just watch movies all day.
Yeah. I mean, I
Dang.
got paid minimum wage, but it was literally the best job I've ever had.
Yeah, that sounds nice. One of my friends is the assistant manager at one of the theaters back home.
Very cool. I loved working in the movie theater. That's before we had digital projectors. Everything came in film. I don't think it'd be fun anymore with all you do is just hook up a hard drive. Like you don't need to have anybody working up there. So
Right.
but, yeah, man, check it out. But yeah, I'm excited. Jamie Lee Curtis, Kate Blanchett. Come on, I'll go see that.
You might have to tell me how it is.
Dude, I will. It'll be a whole deep dive on this podcast about how awesome the cast is of that movie, whether or not that movie's good or not. I'll not let the cast go.
Be our first movie segment in the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah, movie review, gaming. Dude, that's a good idea. We need to have like some gaming movie reviews.
Hey.
The first one will be Mario Brothers, with John Leguizamo.
Well, I think that's a little before our time.
It might be. If you haven't seen that, then we're definitely gonna have to like set aside a week where we're each gonna watch it, and you will have thoughts on this movie. I mean, I'll just put it that way.
All right. We can do that. I'm always down for
It's god awful.
try out some new movies.
It's so bad. Bob Hoskins plays Mario, just to let you have an idea. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So basically what I've gathered from this, Micah, is that video games to movies don't work.
Sometimes they do, most of the time they don't. And after saying that, I can't think of an example of one that actually was good. But I will say that I haven't seen the Yakuza movie, and I've heard that it is insane.
Well, that one actually might work.
Yeah,
that one could be pretty cool.
Yeah, the game's over the top anyway, so it could be a crappy B movie and it would still feel accurate to the game.
I guess we will see how this one goes.
You're the one who brought it up, Mark.
I know. I feel like I'm gonna have to watch it.
I blame you for my enthusiasm.
All right. So, what else we got?
I have one more piece of news that I think is pretty cool. I know we've been talking about playing indie games more and maybe smaller games. There's a game out that's in early access that has completely taken over Steam. It's called Valheim. IGN posted an article about it. When was this article posted? Today. So Valheim is a survival game based in like Viking mythology, where it's like a survival game. It's player versus environment for up to 10 people multiplayer, and it's on the Steam's top seller list, past 160,000 concurrent players, and it's the fourth most played game on Steam at the time, and it's in early access.
Yeah, I see it's got overwhelmingly positive reviews.
Yeah. So the world is procedurally generated. You get dropped in, and it's inspired by Norse mythology, of course. And you have to build like your homes. You have to craft long ships and sail and fight legendary creatures to kind of survive in the world. So it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, this looks awesome.
So I haven't obviously I haven't had any time this week to play anything, but this looks like something that'd be kind of right in my wheelhouse. So I may pick this up next week.
Shoot, it's only $20. I mean,
Exactly.
Yeah, I might.
early access, new game. I mean, I know
Right.
it's an indie game, but
Well, I mean, if it's $20 and it's this good already in early access, I mean, then it's only going to get better, right? I mean, knock on wood.
Right.
Now that I said that, so I don't jinx it, but it'd be like when I purchased Mountain Blade way back in the day when they were in early access. I think I got uh, uh, a key for it for like $10, and it's became one of the most highly sold kind of like indie sim games out there. So sometimes you find little diamonds in the rough.
this does look really really neat. I mean, I think the online co-op of it is a
Yeah,
big selling point for me.
yeah. I think we could have some a blast playing this game.
Well, okay. So kind of just segue away from that, but so do you remember that game we were discussing For the King?
Yeah,
I did download it and tried it out this week, which I can talk about that once we get a little bit further in. But
okay.
it's got kind of a similar feel. It's different, but the co-op kind of gives you the same experience.
I got you. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, that
but
on
real
PC.
quick, I do have one more news thing.
Okay.
Before we get to that, which is kind of cool that I thought. So PS5 restocks, they've been popping up different, and I know I've seen a couple Series X as well. But basically, there was one from the Sony store, direct
Mhm.
PlayStation store. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but basically they handled it differently. And we've talked about this in the past of what's the best way to manage new releases like this.
Mhm.
And I think that this is the best we've seen yet.
Oh, wow.
So
Bold words.
they give you 3 warnings when you start. First is you have to use your active PSN account. So that way you're not buying multiple, obviously,
Okay.
and that you're legit. Second is you have 10 minutes to buy it. And they put you in a queue and you're drawn at lottery. So basically, once you log in, you're put in a queue and you're drawn by lottery. And you have 10 minutes to buy it.
There you go. That's perfect.
Yeah,
You
that's
don't have
great.
to fight and click. Like that's the way to do it.
Now, a lot of people were saying that they didn't get in and they had a bunch of complaints about it, but I truly think that's probably the best way to handle it.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the only way that you're gonna beat out bots who have click in increments of milliseconds, right? Is to
Right.
take that whole aspect out of it and just make it a dumb luck.
Well, and I like the fact that they make you log in with your PSN account
Yep.
just to prove that, hey, you are a. The only bad thing about that is obviously if you're a first time buyer.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if you're a new PlayStation user?
Yeah, that's the only bad thing about that.
Could you?
But
Well,
I guess you could buy a PSN account
yeah.
but then if you don't get it, you're kind of out of luck. But
Ugh, yeah, that's a snag for sure. But I mean, it is better than the alternative of just free for all.
yeah, but it kind of gives your loyal fan base a first shot too. So
Exactly, and I appreciate that.
I see that as well as a win.
Yep.
So that was just kind of something quick, but kind of touching back on what we've talked about in the past. So looks like they're starting to come up with some new ways to do this.
That's good. It's good. It only took them until demand and supply are almost evened out for them to figure it out. But hey, at least they're making improvements.
Hey, in the next 7 to 10 years when they release the next one, maybe they'll have it figured out.
Don't hold your breath, man. It's like anything. They'll take all the lessons that they learned and all this good information and how they can do it a little bit smoother, and then they'll just throw it all away because that's what people in management do. So
That's right. It's kind of like the quote right before they released. We'll have plenty of time to notice before it goes live, and then it went up like the next day.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, to jump back to For the King. So what I've been playing, we'll start with that one. I'll kind of segue into that.
Okay.
So I did download it and I played a little bit of it. I haven't played a lot of it, but it's more of like an animated version of Civilization 6 is what I can come up with.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
It's like a strategy game.
it is. It's like an adventure, but it's still got like that turn-based,
Uh-huh.
and the boards look like the board you're on looks very similar.
Okay.
It's like a mix. So
Okay.
it's worth trying out. I don't think it's gonna be something I love.
Right. Is it?
But
Would you say it's like if it's like a Civ game? Is it? Oh, what's the way? How do I want to say it? Is it more of like a board game feel, or is it more of a like interactive game feel?
so I think it has more of a board game feel, but you get to do combat. Like Civ 6, you just kind of click on them and they fight
Right.
it out. This one you actually have combat, and it's basically like a point and click combat, but
Okay.
so it's like a combination.
Hmm.
But I will say it's very it's more cartoonish. So
I'm looking it up right now.
I don't know how you feel about that.
I mean, it's
I
definitely
personally-
an art style for sure.
Yeah, it's not my preference, to be honest with you. I like the I don't know, I like a more realistic.
So do I. I mean, if it's this seems like a game you could just kind of chill out with, kind of almost kind of kiddie in a way.
Yeah, it reminds me of like a Minecraft or Fortnite or something a little bit.
Yeah.
But you go from hex to hex just like you would in Civilization.
Okay. Oh, you got like different like character classes.
Yep. And you have your different weapons and things like that. So it's neat. I don't think it's worth paying very much money for.
Right.
So for free, it's good if you just want to kind of relax and play it.
And what'd you get it on? PC or
PC? Yeah. Yeah, I downloaded it from Epic Game Stores. It's free right now, or it was. It might be over now, but
I want to say this was on Game Pass. I'll have to look.
Well, it probably
I
was.
was thinking it was too.
Because if it's still on there, I'll download it and give it a shot this weekend.
Yeah, well, let me know if you do, because I don't know if it's cross-platform though. But if you get on, and we'll give it a whirl because it's co-op.
Because I'm kind of a sucker for like tabletop games, virtual tabletop games, anyway. So
Yeah.
on Game Pass Ultimate. Yep.
Okay. Well, we'll see if maybe we can do cross-platform. I don't know for sure, but
I'll check that out.
it's like you work together on it, like 3-player. So
very cool.
that'd be kind of cool.
Blend of strategy, turn-based combat, and roguelike elements. Okay.
Yeah, it does have a little bit of like an RPG feel to it, but it's unique.
Cool.
I haven't put enough hours in though to give a firm review on it, but
right.
Opening reviews so far, it's
first impressions.
Yeah, first impressions are pretty good.
Cool.
All right. So Mark, well, actually, Micah.
Yo.
You said earlier you didn't play very much this week. So did you play anything or?
Man, I played no games this week. It was just kind of a rough week, work wise. Had a lot going on, so I had to work most of the weekend on grading. Had to work this week. It's early week on grading too, and creating PowerPoints for AP World. So it was just a work-filled week, unfortunately. I listened to a lot of podcasts though.
I think that's kind of the cool thing about this podcast is we have full-time jobs and full-time. Yeah. Mark goes to school full-time and has the job, so we don't just sit around and play all day. We do a little bit of both.
Yeah, it's just that's real life. It just happens sometimes where you got to take care of your responsibilities before you can sit down and play. So, I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, you'll catch up.
Yeah. I finished making the test today. I made a 50 question test for AP, so I'm done. But it'll. I did put the answer key into the computer, so it'll grade it for me. So thank God I don't have to sit there and grade them all.
Excellent. So, Mark, I guess it's just you and I, and then Michael will just question us and give feedback.
Yeah, sounds good, man. I'll live vicariously through you guys.
Sounds good.
So, Mark, what about you?
Well, played a game that I've never played before this week. I played Pokemon Crystal.
Okay.
What platform is that for? Was that a Game Boy Advance?
I think so.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure.
I never played it either, so I'm curious to hear about this.
So, I played a lot of Pokemon games, but I stopped at like Silver and Gold. So I don't know what timeline Crystal falls after that.
I want to say Crystal is after.
But while you're telling me about it, I'll look it up.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Nuzlocking. You guys ever heard of
Nuzlocking?
Yeah, it's like Nuzlocke, I think.
Nope.
Nuzlocking, no.
Well, it's where it's basically like a different set of rules that you instill on yourself to play the Pokemon games in.
Okay.
So when you encounter like a wild Pokemon, or if it's one of your like any Pokemon, if it faints in battle, you have to consider it like dead. So you can't use it anymore. And if you make
so it's like a Iron Man mode for Pokemon.
right, and like if you encounter a wild Pokemon and it faints, or I think even if you try and catch it and it gets away, like, and you run into another kind of Pokemon and same kind of Pokemon in that area, you can't catch it because it could technically be the one that you've already encountered.
Oh wow. Okay.
So a buddy of mine, that's what he was doing. And he was playing Pokemon Gold. So him telling me about that, and like he had played Crystal when he was growing up. And so him talking about that and all that stuff made me want to play one of the older games, because I started with Leaf Green, like Gen 3. So just been putting time in it. Not a whole lot of time though. I've been pretty busy myself this week, so I haven't played it a ton, but I definitely am really liking it.
So just for your information, Mark, I looked it up. Gold and Silver came out in 2000, and Crystal came out in 2001 for Game Boy Color.
What color? Okay.
Okay. So you stopped playing them right around that time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really big into Red and Blue, and then Yellow was pretty sweet. And then, of course, they released all those new Pokemon with Gold and Silver, and that's what I kind of played through. And then I guess I just got old.
Yeah. The last one I played through, man, was Pokemon Yellow. But I am getting the one for Switch because it looks good. So I don't know which one I'm going to get, Sword or Shield, but one of them.
Yeah, I started with Gen 3, mine was Leaf Green version. I played Gen 4, played through Diamond. Then I didn't play another one until like Gen 7. I just like randomly kind of wanted to get back into it, so I got Sun, and then I bought X. But I haven't beat Sun or X. I've only beat Leaf Green and Diamond. But yeah, playing this, it definitely feels good to just feel like a kid again, back when Pokemon was the coolest thing.
Oh yeah. The problem for me, I think, if I pick this game up, is I wouldn't even know which Pokemon are good. You know, there's so many new ones.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Is like, even going back to like, one of the originals. I've just been out. Like, I haven't really played much of them in so long that I don't even remember like what's good against what or anything like that.
Yep, same. I think I've been playing some Pokemon Go. That's about it.
Is that still pretty active? I don't know. I haven't heard much about it.
Surprisingly, man. Like, I knew we had that huge craze there for a while, but they keep putting in updates that are really cool. And yeah, I mean, it's just neat when you're out walking around in the park, just have something to do other than just stare off into space. So
yeah, I had a couple of friends who played it. I'm not sure if they still do or not.
Yeah, they got
I never
got
got
a
that
Ghostbusters version of it too. It's like one of those AR capture the critter game, but based in the Ghostbuster universe. So it's pretty neat too. You get like the Slimers and the librarians and things like that.
I bet that one would be fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, Ryan,
Mark bringing back some old stuff here.
Yeah, man.
it was
Love it.
me this week.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always here for it. So
It's always a
Alright.
good time.
exactly.
Well, Mark, I'll jump into the game we jumped in together.
Okay.
So we downloaded. Well, first of all, I took the plunge and downloaded Game Pass for PC.
Nice.
So be very proud, Micah.
I am.
But anyway, so I downloaded Project Winter, and Mark and I hopped in a session together and tried it out, and it took a lot of learning, and I still don't know that I've got it figured out 100%, but it's pretty fun. What are your thoughts, Mark?
Yeah, I felt the same way at the beginning as you, because I never really played like Among Us or anything. So this was like an entirely new experience for me, this kind of gameplay. But I like the setting of it better than what I think I like of what I've seen of Among Us, like being in the cabin and it's like a blizzard and you all think you're trying to survive together. You know what I mean?
Well, I've played a little bit of Among Us because when the craze hit for that, I decided to jump in and see what it was really all about. And it was pretty good, but it was like one of those games where it's like I couldn't play this for a long period of time.
Right.
It was just kind of real basic. It was a good mobile game, really. But anyway, this one is more, I don't know the right words to say it, but it's just more involved, more, like, I mean, the graphics are better, the gameplay feels better. It's just more polished.
Yeah.
And the only complaint I had is I felt like I was waiting a long time to find like a party.
Yeah, which I was kind of surprised about. I mean, we both talked and said that we had never heard of it before it was on Game Pass. So, yeah, I don't know if it was like a niche audience that was following it or what, but I kind of thought with like it being like Among Us, it would have been a bigger hit.
Yeah. And the only other downfall I found is because I was so new, felt like I was getting snowplowed in the game. First couple rounds, it was like I couldn't figure out what I was doing and just kept losing. But the longer we played, I think we figured out a little bit more strategy and kind of what to do.
Yeah, yeah. It got better as we played it, I think.
Yeah. So, Micah, you'll have to hop in on the next time we do a co-op and see
Yes,
what it's about.
I absolutely will. That is the night where I got home. It was such a crazy night at work. I finished dinner, and dude, I was out on the couch. I didn't wake up till 1 a.m. It was rough.
Yeah. Well, we didn't play for a real long time that night, just enough to kind of get our feet wet.
Right.
Yeah.
But maybe if we get some Patreon subscribers, we can do a live stream, get everybody's opinion on it, and
Absolutely.
have some fun with it.
Yep. Check us out, patreon.com/Digital Theory Podcast.
We'd like for this thing to grow a little bit, have some fun with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I looked up some gameplay of it, so it looks pretty cool. I always like the game will have trader mechanics. I think that's neat. I like social deception games anyway, so it looks pretty neat.
Yeah, Mark played me pretty bad. He's like, dude, they're killing me. Come help me. Come help me. So I killed the guy chasing Mark, and he's like, actually, I was the traitor. I'm like, dang.
Dude, but every game I went into, like 2 minutes in, everyone would be like, Ryan did it. Like everyone just knew. Like
Calling you out.
Yeah, we like load in. So it's you, Ryan. I'm like, what? But so yeah, Mark played me pretty bad on that one, but it was a good time.
Yeah,
we'll definitely do that one again.
That sounds cool.
But, so, anything else you're getting into, Mark?
Yeah, I actually played the Medium.
I'm interested to hear your views on this.
Yeah, so I think it was maybe even the night that we recorded the last week's episode. I think I played it. And you said it was pretty creepy. So I had all the lights in the apartment off and everything, and
Mm-hmm.
had the headphones on like we talked about last week. And yeah, it was pretty creepy, but I felt like it was pretty slow too, which I think kind of added to the
Yeah.
like you don't know what's coming.
Right.
But how far have you gotten?
So I have gotten into the hotel, and I have been connecting with. I don't want to say too much to spoil anything. I've been connecting with a young spirit in the hotel. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I don't want to say too much.
I know.
Have you
Have
been
you
to
found
an
out about?
office building?
Yeah.
I
Have
mean,
you found out about the like terrible thing that happened? Like you'd know what I'm talking about. Something awful happened in this place.
I have used this. I have played with a grandfather clock,
Okay. All right.
and then a little bit past that part.
Okay.
So I don't know if I know what happened yet, but I'm getting.
I think you have a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Suffice to say, it's really dark.
Yeah.
Thing that happened. Yeah.
Um. So have you been chased yet?
By the mall.
Is that the? Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
the
so.
big evil thing. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That scared me the first time, and then I couldn't figure out how to get past it. So like
Yeah.
I had to hear that cutscene like 10 times.
Oh my God, dude.
But the part that got me really bad is when you are first like really crossing over and like figuring out like how to like use the out of body experiences and
Mm-hmm.
everything. Do you remember how you have to go into a room and she like looks through a keyhole?
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that got me.
Yeah.
That
That one
got
got
me.
me good. That one got me real bad.
And it's like I don't know how I didn't see it coming.
That's what I
Right.
was getting ready to say. It sounds like you should have saw something coming.
Yeah. Well, all the things that happen in this game that like are truly like jump scare moments, you do see coming. That's the thing. Like if you're a fan of horror, like you know what's going to happen, but it gets you every time. Like the first thing that got me was at the very beginning of the game. Do you remember going up the stairs from the morgue and seeing the shadow on the stairs?
Yes, dude.
Yeah, that got
Yes.
me. I was like, this is the beginning of the game, and it's already got me scared.
Yeah, and then like you go into that office and hear something break. I was like,
Yep. I was like, here we go. It's Resident Evil 7 again.
But I actually take comfort in the fact that there's not a whole lot of combat because I get so stressed out in horror
Right.
games. So I'm like having to like shoot and like at fight. Cause I'm like I don't want to touch it. Like I just want to
Right.
run from it.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I said, I think the medium is awesome for what it is, but you have to when you go in, you have to know that it's not it's not a Resident Evil. It's not an action, shoot 'em up game. It's a slow burn. It's almost like playing an interactive movie.
Yeah, and one thing I did want to point out was I think last week you pointed out like even though it's an exclusive to the Series X/Series S, like it looks good, but some of the animations aren't great.
Yeah, I don't think the character models are very good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But the environment is phenomenal.
Yeah, like that young spirit you're talking about, or
Mhm.
I was unimpressed with that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
The only
yeah,
character model I'm impressed by is the Maul, the main antagonist. That thing is
yeah,
creepy.
yeah. And the voice, dude.
Dude's Troy Baker, man. Troy Baker is the man.
Yeah, hats off.
Yeah,
It's so
anything, man.
unsettling.
Yeah,
And I'll like walking through the hallways, when you like are trying to figure out how to get upstairs.
yeah.
And it's like every once in a while you hear like a whisper. It's like, or you think you hear a whisper. Like
Right.
the environment is just top notch.
That started messing with me in the house because I was running it through my surround sound. So
Oh man.
I'd hear like a whisper. I'm like, what is that? And I'd pause it, and you wouldn't hear anything. I'm like, was that the game or was that outside? It was messing with my head. So
That's a whole nother level of intense.
yeah, it was really messing with my head.
I didn't when the mall screams. I had to take my headset off because I was like, I can't hear this at this time of night.
Yeah, no, and not when you're alone in the apartment or the house like that.
Yeah,
That's like one of those you go, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna shut off the game now, and I'll play it in the morning.
yeah. When there's sunlight,
Yeah.
people.
Exactly. Get my dog over here.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it for me for the week. What about you, Ryan?
Well, as I said earlier, with the sale of Madden 21, I decided to go ahead and take the plunge and get a next gen football game. I figured for $15 it's worth a shot, which was surprising. I made that decision after buying Doug Flutie's Maximum Football.
You need to cleanse the palate.
That's exactly what I was gonna say, man. It's like getting the taste out of the mouth.
So if I'm comparing it to Maximum Football 2019, Madden 21 is going to get a 10 out of 10 rave review. Just unbelievable, really, is how I would rate it. So, but if we take that out of the mix, Madden 21, the longer I play it, the more I feel it is just okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Mark, I showed Mark, actually, I bought it and he got to see me play a little bit of it. And so for the pros of this game, it was $15. So that's the pro. The second pro I'd say is that the gameplay looks great on next gen.
I was gonna ask, how does it look? How does it feel?
So that makes me very excited for college football coming out. But it looks really good, and honestly, the gameplay feels pretty good.
Okay.
It feels better than Madden 20 on PS4.
Mm-hmm.
But the more I play it, the more problems and just like little things that I find. First of all, I just think that they don't focus on a lot of things. So, for instance, I mean, I have found several glitches, and this game has been out since July. But like, I'll like complete a drive, score a touchdown, and you know how usually it'll give you your stats, like 50 passing yards, blah blah blah. Well, there's a stat that says time of drive. And sometimes it's right, like 3 minutes, 2 minutes. But what I'm finding probably 75% of the time is it's just some bizarre number, like 7, 8, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it's like, you know, the colon and some odd seconds. And I'm like, what the heck is this?
Whoa.
And it doesn't happen just like on occasion. It's like 3 out of 4 times, really.
Wow.
And I'm like, now I'm playing franchise mode because that's what I usually play. I don't do a lot of the Ultimate Team. It just makes me mad.
Right.
Because that is a microtransaction revenue builder for EA.
Yep.
So I don't do a lot of that.
That's all that is. You're 100% right.
So I do franchise mode just to try and build up a franchise and just have fun with it. But that, let's see. I've also had a couple instances where I'm, you know, rushing the quarterback and my guy just like freezes mid rush. And I'm like, what the heck? But other than that, I mean, it feels good. I just don't feel like they did a whole lot of updating besides the next gen graphics.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of little details. And whenever I say this, I'm really not trying to be political in any way.
Right.
But like they took the time to put like the new helmet modifications of like, you know,
like the Black Lives Matter stickers and all that.
Yes, all that. And they did like the field markings.
Yeah.
But this is also the first season of the franchise, and the stands are completely full, and there's no face mask on anyone. And I'm like, I appreciate the detail of that first, you know, the first subject, but why didn't we do more? You know, like that doesn't seem like it would be. You know how much logic does it take to say reduce crowd size to 25%?
Right.
Or you know. Or like the players on the sideline, you add a little face mask.
Right.
I don't know what that would take, but
probably less than you think, I would assume.
Yeah, you know, like I feel like they they just miss a lot of little things in this game.
Well, if they're gonna make the time to make it that detailed, to have helmet decals and field markings for movements that were going on during that year, then they definitely could have addressed the biggest thing facing American society. So
Right, and that's my main point with this is I like it. I like that they took the details to change that. You know what I
right,
mean? That's like a big step for EA. I'm like, wow, they're making improvements. You know what I mean?
right,
And making it more realistic. But then it's like you completely miss that the stadiums are empty this year.
right. Yeah, you wish they would have taken the realism a bit further.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So, but other than that, like, and Mark can contest to this. I mean, he saw the gameplay and he actually got to play it, and the DualSense felt really good.
Oh, I bet.
One thing that's cool, and I know this is a hot topic for a lot of people, is the speaker on the controller.
Uh-huh.
But like when you step out on the field and the quarterback's calling the audible, you get to hear it through the speaker. It's
See,
not overbearing, and I love it.
I like that stuff, man. It's just extra stuff that makes it that much more immersive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
And when you're sprinting, like you can feel like your footsteps. So like you can feel them like going left, right, left, right.
That's so cool. Man, the DualSense is next level. Like I say it all the time, but I wish consoles from now on just make that standard.
Yep.
Yep. So I think my final review for Madden 21 is it's worth 15 to 20 bucks.
Okay, $15 game.
So I would not pay a dime more than 20 bucks.
Got to ask you, how do the crowds look? Did they improve the look of the crowds at all?
So the people look better.
Okay.
But if you like zoom out, like if you look like a broad picture,
Uh-huh.
a lot of the people are doing the same things.
Okay. That's what I was getting at, because it would almost look like a checkerboard of the same animations. Does that, if that make sense? Like it'd be little pockets of the same.
Yeah, it is better though. I will say it is improved. And one other thing I do like about it is, say you get a first down or touchdown, you get to pick your celebration, and it's pretty unique.
That's cool.
So like each person has their like own signature move, and you can do that, or you can do a standard like flex or something like that.
Cool. Do they have a career mode in that one?
I haven't played around on it very much other than franchise, but I did see they have a feature mode called the Yard, and I want to say there's one where you work your way out of high school, college, but don't quote me on that one.
Right.
But I know there is like the Yard mode, and I haven't done a whole lot on that yet.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be excited to see what they do when they make just a next gen game, when they don't have to straddle the console generations.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's got a lot of potential. I just really wish Madden would focus on all the little details. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I feel like they have the potential. They just fail to capitalize on it.
Well, they're focused more on their microtransactions, man. I mean, just being honest,
Yeah.
that's what they focus on, and they really shouldn't. I mean, they're going to be lucky if they can even keep doing that stuff. I know a lot of countries around the world have basically banned it. They consider it gambling. I think Belgium is the last company to do it, or the country to do it. So, yeah, I wish they would focus more on gameplay, less on lining their wallets.
Yeah. So hopefully they don't screw up the college football one, because I'm super excited for that one.
Yeah, I think everybody is, man. It's just been
yeah.
so long that even people who aren't into college football will buy that game.
Yeah. So that is it for me. I will probably continue to play some Madden this week and maybe jump into a PC game or two, but that's kind of my game plan.
Yeah, I'm my plans for this week is I'm gonna hook up this is something that hadn't been talked about for a while. My Steam Link that I bought years and years ago, and I'm gonna stream some PC games into my living room on a big screen. And I still got my Steam controller. I'm gonna bust it back out and play some PC games from the couch. So
cool. That sounds.
I'll let y'all know how that works.
Awesome. Well, if you guys don't have anything, I'm completely out.
Yep. I'm out.
I had no experiences this week, but I'm all out of news. So
All right. Well, we'll do it again next week. Thanks for joining again.
Yeah,
Yep.
always, we'd love to have you guys drop us a line on Patreon. Let us know what we can do to improve what you want to hear. But thank you.